on the way. Hello?
Fernando,
I appreciate you calling.
we're going to be thrilled to make you the first pick in the draft here and welcome you to the dark side.
Thank you. Can't wait till it's reward.
Hey, Trade. Clint Kubiak, congratulations.
Thanks, Coach. How you doing?
Hey, I'm great, man. Welcome, man. You can be a captain here, too. I know you've been a captain 3 different times. We need another captain here. What do you think?
Whatever you need, Coach. I got it. Hello?
Hey, Dalton, John Spytek in Las Vegas. How you doing?
How you doing? I'm doing good. How are you?
You want to come play with your own teammates, Dukes, in Las Vegas?
Coach, you know I do.
Hello?
Hey, Zeke,
Yes, sir.
you want to come to Las Vegas and be a Raider?
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
Hey, Zeke. Coach Kubiak here. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How you doing, Coach?
I'm great. Congratulations. Welcome to the team, man.
Appreciate you, Coach. Boy, you
Yeah.
won't regret it. Appreciate you, Coach.
We're excited to have you, man. We need guys that can cover and take the ball away. Are you that guy?
Yes, sir. I'm that guy. Yes, sir. 100%.
Hey, Trey, John Spytek in Las Vegas. How you doing, my friend?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm doing good. You want to be a Raider?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Well, hey, we're really excited to have you. Love your toughness. Love the way you can play multiple positions in the same game.
Yes, sir. I can't wait.
Hello?
Hey, Mike, John Spytek with the Las Vegas Raiders. You want to be a Raider?
I do. Come on. Let's do it.
All right. Well, you're in. You're on the dark side.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it.
We got a great plan for you. Billy, this is John Spytek. I'm a GM in Las Vegas. How you doing, my friend?
Man, I'm doing good. How about you?
Good. You want to get on a team and be a Raider?
Hell yeah.
Let's go. We need speed.
Man, I can't wait, man. We're going to go crazy. Let's go, man.
Welcome to the Silver and Black.
We're gonna rock the hell out. I promise.
Make sure you keep improving when you get here. Got me?
Listen, I got you.
Jamad, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, Coach. How you doing?
Man, I hope you're as fired up as I am to get you here, brother.
Welcome to the dark side, my friend.
Let's go! Let's go today! All that matters is today. Stay compressing, man. 3.5 hours, do the together, man. It starts with us, it ends with us. Hey, no, chill! Thing we got.
Thank you. God bless. Thank you guys for coming.
Yeah. Everyone thinks the Raiders wide receiver room is a massive guessing game. They look at the depth chart and see a bunch of question marks like 2s and 3s, but not a number 1. But Tom Brady looks at this lineup and wonder who's the big dog, who's the alpha, so he can give the blueprint to success. And guess what? I figured it out. I figured it out, y'all. I figured it out, man. I got some game for y'all tonight. Welcome to BART, man, the Bay Area Raider Talk. You feel me? Please pay your fare. Punch that thumbs up. Don't be no fair Raider, because this is going down tonight. Like I said in the little community tab, if you're not there, you're a square. Not in a bad way, of course. You know, you just not going to be in the knowing. And then you're going to be wondering what's going on. And then the people that came to class today going to know. So let me give it to y'all straight, no chaser. What's good with y'all? Hit that like button. Let's see. Yates, what's good, man? What's good with it? Yates, Zay, what's good? Yeah, the wide receiver room is weak. I'm glad. Yes, I want all you guys tell me what you think about the wide receiver room. Yes, because I've been trying to figure it out. Because I was like, we gonna run with what we got. Okay, I know that. So what do we actually have? You know, we make content talk about this person. The revolving circular argument is we don't have a wide receiver 1. And I was like, yeah, we do. Like, why do people keep saying that? We don't have the traditional wide receiver 1, but what do people mean by that? That's why I asked yesterday. Because when you go in there, it's a wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3. They don't just start at 2. Oh no, Black, they don't mean like literally. They mean like there's no alpha dog in the. And I'm like, okay. I like to take things in perspective what people say, because I try to hear them. So then I was like, okay, what do we have? We got Tre Tucker. We got Nailor. We got Jay Bash. We got DT. We got Malik Benson. Who else we got? We got some other people. So what is our wide receiver room really gonna look like, even with the Kubiak scheme? Because we got Brock Bowers, and that's not like the ultimate cheat code. Because we want to use Brock Bowers like a chess piece, not the chess board. So that's kind of how things kind of got out of hand yesterday out there, I guess. Oh yeah, so let me go back to that. Let's talk about what happened yesterday before I go into the whole thing about the wide receiver. One thing, and I got the epiphany I got. What happened yesterday, for those that seen it, whatever, hey, y'all was there when I was there. Y'all seen it in real time. That's the good thing about going live. You see things in real time. You see it how you see it. Somebody made a business decision. Speaking of business decision, make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. Hit the you feel me underneath. Because I'm giving the game. I'm giving the game. I'm telling you, I'm giving the game. I'm giving it. I'm giving it. Right now, I'm giving it. So, let me see. Yeah, so if you're like when it comes to me, I know I'm not for everybody. I get it. So if you like emotionally driven and emotionally charged, don't subscribe. Don't come over here. Don't. I hope you understand the difference between passion and emotionalism. And I ain't talking about anybody in particular right now. I'm talking about anybody, including myself. Because y'all see me be animating, y'all think I be in my feelings and all that. Y'all ain't seen me in my feelings. No, I don't be in my feelings. Control chaos. I heard that this year. So I'm building a certain type of community. The ones that want to sit here, chop game, be authentically you. I accept you for who you are, your faults and all. Don't try to use your faults against you. Don't try to, whatever it is. If y'all on that, then come over here. You want to be all on your, beating on your chest like Tarzan. This is not the spot. Don't just unenroll from this class, drop the class, and go to Raider 101 over there somewhere. So I'm not associated with anybody's brand or whatever. I'm just me. I'm building my own community because this thing been going on before I got here, and it got the landscape. So the landscape is the landscape, and I'm willing to run through the minefield to find out where it is to get to the top. So it is what it is. Because I'm one hell of a friend to have. I'm even worse of an enemy. But hey, I heard though you don't come to the internet for friends. I don't believe that. Cause y'all like y'all my extended brotherhood. You feel me? Like I met my wife online. Best thing I could have done. So I don't believe that. So whatever. But my id gap muscle though, my id gap, I don't give a fuck. You don't have to respect somebody, you know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta have respect. You ain't gotta if you don't respect me, then you just don't see me as a man. And if that's what it is, it is as it is. It is as it is, right? Because if you don't have enough respect for me to talk to me as a man, that's what I'm trying to say. If you have respect for me to talk to me as a man, talk to everything and everybody but me, then it is what it is. You feel me? No love lost. I always want to see everybody win. It's enough room to win, but it's hella hard to win. And that's why I be talking about winning so much. And I forgot my winning quote for the day. Winning doesn't make you heartless, but you will use your heart less. So, Tim Grover, if you don't know who that is, back in with Tim Grover though. And don't get it twisted though. Family sucks too. It's hella family I wouldn't mess with. So I look at everybody kind of like family because we all the brotherhood of Christ to me and sisterhood of Christ. But whether it's one of y'all in here, 1,500 of y'all in here, the game will be brought forth, and that's all I'm gonna say about that. So let's get back to what's a wide receiver one. I didn't even read the comment yet, but what's a wide receiver one? Wide receiver one. Like I said, I was trying to figure out. So what we gonna do? Is Kubiak gonna scheme what he schemed? Then I hear people say, well, Tre Tucker can get 1,000, 1,100, 1,200, whatever the numbers are. Everybody had their numbers, including myself, right? But how can it really work? How can it really work? Because when you look putting the plan together, it's always in the best case scenario. And then you might not even think about the pitfalls and the things like that. Although I do, because as being a quarterback, you got to kind of analyze and pre-think of a lot of stuff. So I was like, okay, so best case scenario, it could be what people are saying, but realistically, what will it be? And I was like, it just ain't making sense. So I was like, so if I was Tom Brady, what would I suggest to them how to go about this QB room? Because he's the quarterback. If you're the quarterback, you're only as good as your wide receivers. And so what would Tom Brady tell them? Oh, I got the answer. Boy, I got that answer for y'all. Y'all don't even know how juice I am right now. I'm gonna give it to y'all though in a minute. We're gonna get there. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Yeah, this might be this is like a master class tonight for sure. I got like 2 topics, like Brock Bowers over usage rate. The point I was trying to make yesterday, I just want to make it intelligently. Like it's something to talk about. But let's see how long it take to get through this QB1 thing. So QB1. What is a QB1? Y'all tell me, what's a QB1 to y'all? While I go through the comments, tell me what's a QB1 to y'all? I'm getting down tonight, y'all. Y'all might as well get your feel me's. If you got something to do real quick, that's gonna take you 5-10 minutes. Go on and do it and come back and go back to the replay of all this because it's going down. And I'm glad because this is how it's gonna continue to go down. Because I've been going crazy during the off season. So when training camp come, I'm already there. Let's get to it. Y'all tell me, what's a QB1? Mendoza Mania is running wild. Okay. Yeah, I'm excited about this season too. God, I haven't been this excited in a long time. Tonka truck. Yep. Yeah, Bowers is the main guy. Uh-oh, Zay, somebody smart in the room. Somebody smart in the room. He says, it ain't even about having an X, it's about having a better receiver room overall. You don't got one receiver that you can put on the boundary who can win consistently. I'm glad you said that. Excellent point. I'm gonna tweak it a little bit though. But though, excellent question. Let me put a pin in that. Yeah. Khalil says our wide receiver room isn't too bad. Hard to see what has yet to be put on display. I agree. But you got to have a plan going into it. You can't just go out there and be like, we're going to call plays and see what happens. You can't do that in the NFL, not in the knuckle. And just try to wing it in a prayer. So you got to have a plan going into it. That's why my mind got to thinking more and more and more. I was like, so what are we going to do? Because we can't just rely on what we have thinking is going to, because it screams that it wouldn't. You got to have, Kubiak is that guy, but is he like walk on water like that? Metaphorically, that is. So I wouldn't even want to put that kind of pressure on him because this is supposed to be a gradual thing, but we're trying to win now, though, for sure. Don't get it twisted. but you gotta have the big picture in mind all the time. So I believe Clint Kubiak. I think he knows what he's doing, and he got a plan. He got Bauer and a bunch of pieces at receiver. Our offense is gonna be better overall. Our offense is gonna be better overall. The wide receiver room overall just need more talent to make this offense dynamic. Okay, Zay? More talent? Okay. So extra credit. Extra credit. I'm probably gonna forget that you said more talent because I want to address that more talent thing. Because I think we got the talent to do what we need to do under what I'm about to tell y'all. It's been proven. It's so proven that not correlation is causation. It's direct correlation and direct causation what I'm about to tell y'all. Which got me thinking about TB12. I'm starting to turn how I feel about the Trojan horse. Starting to turn how I feel about it. The best for the job at the moment, okay? Tom Brady out there shopping for receivers to throw to. Put on the pads, Brady. Tighten up your chin strap. Hey, it'd be smart if was out there looking for receivers still. I'm not saying we don't need receivers. Would it be against the rules for an owner to throw the ball at practice? What do you mean, like throw it? Like during like a team period? I wouldn't think so. I don't know. AOC would beat out Cousins and Mendoza with Kubiak scheme. You know, this is where I'm about to do it with that. I'm about to do this with that, y'all. I'm about to look. If you in the school of thought thinking that AOC about to come in here and start, that's fine. And then I'll make a video talking about how I wasted all my time and energy telling y'all all this stuff I'm about to tell y'all right now. Because the stuff I'm about to tell y'all right now requires time. And it doesn't require no playing around with finding out who's QB1 because we know that Kirk Cousins is the quarterback that's about to go in here and handle business because we got a plan. We just not showing our hand to this is poker that they playing. They keeping their cards like this, but they showing a different poker face because they can't tip off the NFL. That's why it's not ready easy for people to see. That's why the beat writers don't know what we about to do with the wide receivers. That's why the insiders. That's why none of these content creators. What I'm about to tell y'all tonight, I promise you, nobody's saying this. And I usually hate saying that because I might not have seen somebody say it. Because I say stuff all the time that I'm sure people ain't hear me say. But so next to nobody. But I'm the only one that you probably gonna hear first. And I'm about to tell y'all what we gonna do with our wide receivers. And if Tom Brady and Spy Tech isn't thinking what I'm about to tell y'all tonight, y'all need to share this. Y'all need to share this. Watch. So what's a wide receiver one? Y'all didn't tell me what a wide receiver one is though. If we had told the pill, we'll be in great shape. That's true. Very true. During team scrimmage, I don't know. I don't know if there's a rule. I'll look into that. So what's a wide receiver one? Excuse me, and shout out to Hondo because he sparked this thought into my mind because I wasn't really thinking about the wide receivers because I was just going to see what happened. But when he started talking about Dante Thornton and Jay Besh being on a practice squad and getting traded, I was like, they only played a rookie season and everybody admits that everything was terrible. We just going to give away the players? Like, that don't even make sense. Like, why are y'all saying this kind of stuff? For clicks and views. And then some of the stuff you say is credible because you're actually sitting in there. So that makes it worse. You're actually sitting in there. Y'all got access to the players. You get the direct connection to them. And then you say stuff like this. And then wonder, then people say stuff. And then I'm looking at them like, why y'all believe that? Because he said it. I get it because y'all don't believe what I say because I say it. So I get you. I'm just like, but at what point are you going to use some information, especially when somebody try to give you the information that kind of had a little bit more than you. I'm always up to hear more game. So, all right, what's the wide receiver one? We went over this yesterday. It was funny because what was yesterday? In Your Feelings Mondays. I started calling that a couple of weeks ago. Like In Your Feelings Monday, because for sure on Mondays we're gonna be in our feelings. So we need to do this. I have to keep that in mind for the shows that it's gonna be like that. Well, today is Talk to You Tuesday because I'm talking to y'all today. So what's a wide receiver one? Yesterday I was talking about wide receiver one is not what a lot of people think. They think it's supposed to be this person on the boundary, the number one receiver, the best receiver. It could be that guy, and ideally you want it to be that guy, but everybody don't have that guy, or he may have one, but he's not like high level. So there might be a two or three that might be pushing on that. So, but Hondo was bringing out these prototypes and things that I heard just like earlier. Let's see, was it this one? This comment, was it this one? We don't got a one receiver that we can put on the boundary who can win consistently, and so you don't have to be on the boundary to be wide receiver one. And yesterday I was talking about that. I was giving the example of Randy Moss as a number one. The reason why he was upset with us because the defensive would roll the coverage over on Randy Moss. He only liked to run the 9 route, so he got frustrated, and then he went to New England. And how did he break the record? Because Belichick said, "I've never seen speed like that before." And Randy Moss was like, "This is how you use it." And Belichick listened and put Randy Moss in the slot many, many times, and that's how he was able to get open because wasn't able to. He was able to get a running start. You don't get jammed. You don't have the boundary like the second defender up there. What they call him, Sammy Sideline. I don't know what they call him now, but that's what they used to call it. But so he broke the record. So you don't have to be on the boundary to be a number one. What I say a number one receiver is he's the leader of the room, or the wide receiver room, the leader of that. He's the number one. Because remember I was talking about earlier, Tom Brady gonna look at this lineup and say, who's the big dog? Who's the alpha? Who's the alpha dog in here? Because it got to start with him. And it ain't got to be necessarily based on his ability, though. Because we can just scheme around your ability. So I think I said it's not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the dog. I remember I said that yesterday. And let's not get caught up on the stereotypes what a wide receiver one is. But let's see. I told y'all that story about the Redwoods, about how we went up there. We was thinking we was gonna beat all them white boys playing football, and we got exposed. The stereotypical thinking one way, and then when the truth hit, then you can't do nothing about it. So we got to be truthful about what we got. And so what we have right now is a wide receiver one is Tre Tucker. Tre Tucker is the wide receiver one. I mean, Marcus Allen even said it. He was like, when we lost Jacoby Meyer, remember he wasn't a true number one. He definitely would be a number one on this team right now. We would love to have a Jacoby Meyer right now. Then we would be cool if we had Jacoby Meyer right now, actually. We'll be cool. For sure. But he looked at like a wide receiver one-ish when he went over there to Jacksonville. So a lot of people wonder, why did we bring in Tyler Lockett? Because we was having so much pressure and hard time blocking. Geno Smith had to throw to a wide receiver he relied on. That's what a wide receiver one is the most reliable wide receiver. the receiver that the quarterback targets the most. That's the wide receiver one, generally 68.2% of the time or more. So that's how you define what a wide receiver one is. So who was our wide receiver one last year? Tre Tucker. He's our wide receiver one this year. A lot of people are saying you need to be able to create separation. Separation, what is separation? I bet y'all, what is separation? What do people mean by separation? Help me with that, y'all. Help me with what y'all think separation is. Tell me what separation is. It has to be a big body wide receiver, a receiver that can win off the line of scrimmage. That's what y'all say wide receiver one is. Not y'all, but a lot of people. So I'm like, that's Dante Thornton. All the things that I just described: speed, get off the line, big, tall, fast. But it's your most reliable target. And Brock Bowers is not a wide receiver, so he's not the wide receiver one. We need a true wide receiver. Yes, we can scheme him out there, but that's where, to me, what a true number one, we need a true wide receiver. One of those three guys that's lining up, wide receivers, you're the guy of that group. Now, we want to decide we want to throw the ball to Brock Bowers more than we throw it in our receivers and over usage. That's why I'm going to talk about the over usage. Now, I don't think Kubiak is going to overuse Brock Bowers. That's why I'm even saying this, because when people's thinking he's going to keep escalating years like that, I'm thinking his number's going to probably stay somewhere the same, maybe a little more, but it's somewhat the same, because we're not going to use him as much. So he's not a wide receiver. So we need a true wide receiver. So, and if the team isn't together, it's a waste to get a wide receiver one, because the wide receiver one be outplaying the team. And then that's how issues happen. So we use that word interchangeably. So Tre Tucker is our wide receiver one. Let's get to it. Oh, yeah. The JSN comp. Hit the like button. I'm about to tell y'all who the player is. I guess I told y'all who the wide receiver one is. The wide receiver one is who? Tre Tucker. I guess I told y'all already. The wide receiver one is Tre Tucker, and I'm gonna tell you why wide receiver one Tre Tucker and how we gonna use him though. This is the key, because every room got a wide receiver one. So Tre Tucker is that guy. Now, can Nailor be that guy? And what I'm about to tell y'all, yes, he can. He can. Shoot, even Benson can dang near do this. Maybe if they could twerk them both at the same time. Hit the like button. I'm telling you, I'm about to tell y'all. I'm getting to it. The JSN comp. That's where a lot of our focus is. Who's going to be the JSN? Who's going to be the JSN? And I'm like, I always was like, well, everybody worrying about who's going to be the JSN. Who's going to be the Cooper Tuck? That's why I said we need another veteran wide receiver that can create gravity, because part of the offense and get is spacing. Because you run the ball to keep the spacing true. You run the ball to keep the spacing true. Even when you run the ball, it's spacing. So you can make cutback lanes. But when you run the ball, you keep the spacing true. And if you have wide receivers that don't run precise routes, then you plowed up certain zones. And it's all about creating zones. So that's why I was like, you need a veteran wide receiver that know how to create gravity when the ball not going to him. Because a rookie wide receiver don't necessarily create gravity like that. The defense don't move with him because they don't expect him to get the ball, because of the separation that y'all be talking about. But NFL open and separation is two different things. But so everybody was saying, well, I was like, who's going to be Cooper Kupp? And so then I was like, well, I guess Nailor got to be that, because he can do a little dirt work. So cool. All right. So got it figured out now. We got Wide receiver 1, Tre Tucker. Nailor, you that veteran that would, let's get it going. So I was saying JSN, wasn't he a number 1 wide receiver? He ain't no big guy. He don't be on the boundaries that much. And let me show y'all. I'm about to get to it now, right now. Now I'm about to get to JSN. Let's look at JSN. I'll be having so much notes, it go crazy. Because, yeah, I'll talk about that when I get into the separation. Let's see. The true number 1. Let me see. I don't want to get too. Oh, nice comments. Let me get to the comments. The mic cutting in and out for real. Oh man. Okay, let me see. For me, it would be. Hold on, let me see. Raiders have always wanted to stretch. Okay. Okay, I'm good. Okay, cool. All right, so the concept of a true wide receiver 1 has evolved significantly. Traditionally, a team's top option played on the boundary, X receiver. But now today, several elite high volume wide receivers operate primarily or heavily out of the slot to exploit mismatches against safeties and linebackers. The premier examples of elite wide receiver 1s who make their living inside rather than on the boundary is Amon Ross St. Brown. I met him in February. And when I saw him, I was like, I'm the same height as you. He was bigger than that on TV. He go crazy. He go crazy. Jackson Smith and Jigma go crazy. Cooper Kupp when he was with the Rams, remember that year? Triple crowned it. Go crazy. Seattle Seahawks. And Chris Godwin. I'm about to tell y'all the answer right quick. Here it come, y'all. I just named y'all some 1, 2, 3, 4. Keenan Allen played in the slot. That's 5. I just gave y'all 5. I just gave y'all 5. Yeah, I just gave y'all 5. So you don't have to be on the boundary to be the number 1. So I got to thinking. So I was like, okay. If my boy Tre Tucker, the number 1, he can't play on the boundary because the numbers say, which this kind of sparked it all from Hondo when he said that Nailor was 6% on the boundary. I think he was 6th with release rate or something. I forgot what the term was he used. I can find it, but then I was like, that's interesting because Tre Tucker is not that guy on the line of scrimmage, so he can't play X like that. You can line him up there sometime, but okay, so Nailor he could play there. Nailor played there because he's 6% in a certain part. It wasn't overall, like Hondo said, but it was whatever. It was good. It was better than Tucker. So then I was like, so Tucker got to play in the slot. So he got to go crazy in the slot. If I was Tom Brady and I had to make my slot go crazy, who would I have his comp be? Let's see if anybody in the class get it right now. Who would Tom Brady make Tre Tucker comp be? Who would Tom Brady make Tre Tucker's comp be? Not JSN. It cannot be JSN. JSN came into the league with the same numbers that that Tre Tucker peaked with. So him getting to that level is a far reach to JSN level, because JSN he almost had 1,000. I can't remember. He almost had 1,000 his rookie year, or hold on, man. I'm gonna look that up in a second. Anyway, what I'm saying is he had like 700 yards rookie year. Second year he had like 1,100. Then he blew up and had like whatever, something like that. So him and Tucker ain't terrible. You can put him in that position, but I don't think they'll get the same result like that. So who would Tom Brady have Tre Tucker comp be? Let me see if anybody. Yes. Dante release is bad. He too stiff and run a route. He just fast. He don't translate if you can't even get open. Yeah, well, the first game that we won, he got open and caught the ball. So I seen it in game one. So I don't know how. I don't know. I was watching all 22 of these players last year, and it wasn't glaring to me that was a situation, but I don't know where y'all getting that from, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but I'm going to pay super attention this year because I don't see it like that. And plus, anyway, it's easy to, yeah, I'm not going to make excuses for that. Anyway, the person that Tom Brady would want Tre Tucker to play like which was a wide receiver one, is Wes Walker. Wes Walker. Yeah, he's the godfather of the high volume slot wide receiver. With the Patriots, he was Tom Brady's undisputed number one target, routinely catching 110 passes a year, almost exclusively from the interior. I was doing the education. I kept asking. The thing about AI is some people let AI think for them, but you can make AI think for you. You got to ask the right questions. Because sometimes AI be trying to feed you some information that ain't true. But I asked it though, do you have to be on the boundary to be a number one wide receiver? No. But Wes Walker. Wes Walker, you say. Let's see. CeeDee Lamb, Justin Jefferson, Puka, they true number one wide receivers. They go into the slot a lot because it's all about matchups. It's about matchups. But they go to the boundary too, because when you go to the boundary and like I said, if you're the best receiver and the leader of the room and all that, then you command gravity. And so if you're on the boundary and you run, the defense is going to roll to you, just like Randy Moss. And so that's why the other players got to go crazy, like Cooper Kupp does. When the gravity go towards JSN, and then Cooper Kupp just tear you up. So let's say Jackson Smith and Jigma, he's 6 feet. So I guess Tre Tucker, what, 5'9"? Cooper Kupp's a little bigger, 6'2". Wes Walker is 5'9". So he's undersized. So this is perfect for him. Him and Wes Walker, good comp right now. That's how you might want to play. That's why I seen him bulk up, start making sense. So I was like, what was Wes Walker's stats? Let's look at them stats. He played 6 seasons with the Patriots. Oh, and he was on that 07 undefeated season. Let me see. So his first year in New England, while Randy Moss shattered the records on the outside, Walker dominated underneath. Now this is what really got me tripping. Wes Walker had Randy Moss, Dante Stallworth, and Jabbar Gatney in that receiving room. Remember I told you about it's the person that's the leader in that room, and it's the person who get targeted the most. That's your wide receiver one, not the person. It is not always about ability. You would say that Randy Moss was the wide receiver one in that room. I would say Wes Walker was the wide receiver one in that room. But people got the stereotype because he fits the body type, whatever, and he can play on the boundary. Remember, I told y'all that story earlier. Rewind it about what Belichick said. Do I got to go get the affidavit or the deposition? I need to go get the deposition. I need to go get the depo of him saying it because he clearly said he was in the slot hell of time. So it's not about the boundary. But wide receiver one is the one that does all those things I described. Who's the leader in the room, the one that the quarterback can trust when he's in situations, the one that you can scheme the most for, the one that get targeted the most. All those things apply because as a quarterback, that's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for. Sure, some plays dictate that you go to certain players, but then if they take that away, then guess who I'm looking for? The guy that I know about to work his way to the open part of the field. I got a unique perspective by playing wide receiver at a high level and playing quarterback because now I can because I already played wide receiver like a quarterback vision, but not I didn't have to do all the thinking like the quarterback did, and I never had respect for the game, for their game until I actually played it. So let's look at the numbers now. Wes Walker had 112 receptions. Randy Moss had 98. Dante Stallworth had 46 at the end of his career. Jabbar Gaffney in his career, 36. But arguably, you could have said Wes Walker. If you looked on paper, 5'9". He not the he ain't the alpha in that room. Wes Walker had 1,175 yards. Randy Moss had 1,500, 1,493. Stallworth played nice with 700 yards. Gaffney had 450. Gaffney had 5 touchdowns. Stallworth had 3. See people pitching in, and then Randy Moss had 23 that year, and Wes Walker still had a respectable 8. Remember, I didn't say it was the person who got the most touchdowns. So that's 2010. 2011 season, Wes Walker, he put up his highest yardage totals of his career. They had the 2 tight ends, Rob Gronkowski, Aaron Hernandez. Who was the wide receiver one for them that year? Wes Walker, 5'9", Wes Walker. They had Gronk and Hernandez. Rest in peace to Hernandez. And they had Deion Branch and Chad Ochocinco on that team. They had Chad Johnson on that team, Deion Branch, Aaron Hernandez, Rob Gronkowski, and Wes Walker. And guess who was the wide receiver one of that? Wes Walker. Let's look at the numbers. 122 receptions, 1,569 yards, 9 touchdowns. Gronk had 90 receptions, 1,300 yards, 17 touchdowns. Hernandez, 79 receptions, 910 with 7 touchdowns. Deion Branch, 51 receptions, 702 yards, 5 touchdowns. And Ocho Cinco had 15 receptions, 276 for 1 touchdown. Wes Walker, wide receiver 1. And they had Gronkowski. We got Brock Bowers. You see, Gronk had to retire somewhat earlier because of his usage rate. Now I think about it, they was tearing him up. They got tired of him doing that to the league. That's 2011 for Wes Walker. So during his 6-year run with Brady, Walker averaged 112 receptions, 1,243 yards a season. So there you go. So then, remember it was so nice. Did they win? How many Super Bowls did they win? Hold on. How many Super Bowls they won? They won 0 Super Bowls together. Oh, wow. That's interesting. Well, but they went though. But that's cool though. Whatever. They did, but the blueprint worked though. Because this is the point. You don't have to have the boundary receiver that be wide receiver one. Now, how many Super Bowls they won? They didn't win that. But he went on to win with this next person. So if it ain't Wes Walker, because it's not about the details, it's about the concept. Well, the details matter. Let me not say it's not about the details, it's about the concept. Julian Edelman. Now, I know him and Julian Edelman won some Super Bowls. Another small guy. Same position. He came in and took over for Wes Walker. And they got over the hump. Winning is not easy. Winning is not guaranteed. You can do everything right and winning will lose you. Winning is hard. Winning is never easy. None of that. But then Julian Edelman came in. He played 5 seasons. So Brady had 11 seasons worth of these slots going crazy. I know y'all remember him. And eventually he ended up getting 7 Super Bowls. So let me run through these numbers real quick. Let me get to the chat because I know y'all going crazy. I'm telling y'all I had a game for y'all. I'm only gonna be like this on Tuesdays. Talk to you Tuesdays to get this serious about it. But let's go to the numbers. 2013, he had 105 receptions, 4,000 yards. 2014, he had 92 receptions for 972. He led the team, even with Gronk on the team. Gronk had 82 receptions. And they won the Super Bowl. 2016, 98 receptions. 98 receptions, 1,100 yards. Another Super Bowl. And he was injured short in 2015. So he got injured 2015. Then 2018, 74 receptions. He missed the first 4 games of the season due to a suspension. Edelman returned to catch 74 passes for 850 yards in just 12 games, leading the roster in receptions and going on to win another Super Bowl. 2019, 100 receptions. This is Tom Brady's final year with the Patriots. He was the undisputed focal point. He caught 100 passes for 1,117 yards, nearly doubling the reception of the team's second leading wide receiver, Philip Dorsett, with 29. Dang, Philip, you've been in the league that long? Ain't he trying to get a roster spot right now? Yeah. So, man, Wes Walker, Julian Edelman. That's what we need we need Tre Tucker to be that. And we can try to do it when they both was on the squad together, running the mesh routes across each other and letting them work the field and run inside and catch the ball and fall on the ground. That's what Tre Tucker got to do: catch the ball and fall on the ground, and then catch him slipping and run right by him because he's faster than Edelman and Wes Walker. That's the upside he got over them. He's faster than them. But we wouldn't want to try to stretch him all the time, running him on hella routes. I'm talking about deep routes. I think that's how we about to use Tre Tucker, Wes Walker, Julian Edelman. And if they ain't, y'all should better come back to this video because this is the answers. Because if y'all think the answer is throwing the ball to Brock Bowers 120, 50 times, y'all gonna go get that kid hurt, shorten his career, man. Defenses don't take too kind of one player just dominating year after year after year after year. I told you them grown people paying other grown people bills, and they get incentives to make more money. They contracts say this, but the incentives make that contract go crazy. So they got to hit them incentives. So let me see. Let me see what y'all think. So what do y'all think about what I said about the Julian Edelman, Wes Walker? Y'all say Black, that's crazy. You wasted our time with that. That's 4 ice cubes, man. You tripping today, bro. 4 ice cubes. What's wrong with you, bro? Or are you like, I feel you what you saying? I feel what you're saying, but I ain't buying it, my nigga. I ain't buying it, bro. I ain't buying it. And if you like, oh, I can kind of see it. I could kind of see what you're saying, but you know, I got to see it to believe it, Black. Or Black, you on to something that I can't buy all the way in, bro. But you're on to something, or is this straight no chaser and you like Black? That's the answers, bro. Y'all tell me how many cubes is that, bro? How many cubes is that? Let's go. I'm gonna look in the chat. Oh man, because I want to get into this separation thing, so I can talk to y'all about Brock Bowers. Brock Bowers. Talk to y'all about Brock Bowers. Because I heard something about Brock Bowers and blocking. It was like, if I see Brock Bowers blocking, then I'm gonna be mad. And I'm like, well, you would want Brock Bowers to block sometimes. Yeah, sure. You take him out of the pattern, the defense feel good about it, but the thing about it is you don't want to give them a pattern of seeing certain things, because you can have Brock block or he act like he blocking and then go out, because they recognize the block key, and then they run off to a zone, and then Bowers can do his Dougie. But it's like a play action. You can't do the play action if you ain't running a ball, Chip Kelly. Like the play action don't get the defense to step forward if you don't run the ball. So you have to block in order for you to block release. Because there's only so many ways you can scheme a person open, and like I said, you can keep whipping the defense with Brock Bowers, they're gonna hurt him. And last year when he got hurt, it wasn't even like they caught him lacking. They just hit him. They just hit him when he was running out of bounds, and it wasn't a freak accident. A freak accident is if you had a non-contact injury, you backpedaling, and then some freakish just freakish mean not normal, something not normal. Yeah, it's not normal for a tight end, because the tight end don't, well, traditional tight ends, because they don't run all the way down the field like that. They usually catch passes on the inside and get slapped, and that's it. But we're using Brock Bowers like a wide receiver. When receivers get hit like that, it's you definitely can tweak your knee. First, he tweaked it with one and fell on the other one. As a wide receiver, when you get hit, that's how you go down like that on your knees. Why you think we was giving AOC a bad time about getting airlifted because he a knee bruise because he fell on his knee because somebody pushed him. Didn't even hit him, just pushed him. Pushed him in the back. Black, it was late. I know, but he still fell on his knees, and we thought he was done for the season. So we need Brock Bowers to block sometimes. And he does already though. Because when he in the game, we're 5-25 when he in the game. That's why we need to chill on his usage rate, because all them superhuman plays it's not necessarily getting us wins. Because remember I was telling y'all about having a wide receiver that peaked too early and the team ain't with him. He gonna either get disgruntled and leave, or he gonna get hurt. That's it. So we 5-25 when he in, and we 2-3 when he out. For those that like to use them kind of stats. But let's look at what y'all talking about. Oh, y'all don't want to give me the ice cube. Let me see. Tre don't even got Wes Walker skills. What skills did he have? And height don't mean nothing. Height don't mean nothing? Wow, okay. That's interesting. Wes had the same thing JSN had. Wait. Time out. Okay, hold on. Let me finish what you're saying. JSN has short area quickness, reliable hands, and crazy body control. Tre play in the slot, but he just a deep threat. That's what you think? So we just gonna run Tre Tucker deep all game long. So we gonna out the slot. Wes Walker couldn't even run past his route. His routes was so limited. He ran primarily mesh routes, and now in this year he would run maybe choice routes, run around and sit in the zone and fall down, or if he wide open and he running a crossing route, he can keep running. But he wasn't doing all that like that. And Edelman was better than him, and Edelman numbers was terrible. They never had seasons like JSN. Do y'all know what? Hey, Google. So JSN came into the league as a rookie. He played 17 games. I don't know how many he started. Let me see. He had 4 touchdowns, but he didn't start all them games. Had 63 receptions, 628 yards. That's Tre Tucker out the box, out the wrapper. That's Tre Tucker right there. It took Tre Tucker how many seasons to get to this point? Not to smash on Tre Tucker. 7. Then the next year, he had 100 receptions with 1,100 yards, 6 touchdowns. Not a. Then he went to 119 and had 1,800 yards, 1,793 with 10 touchdowns. So Tre Tucker is going to be the JSN, or is he going to be the Shaheed Rashid, or he going to be the Cooper Kupp? Because none of them just run fly routes all day long. None of them do that. That's not even really in that offense like that for him to run deep. But we'll see. That's interesting. I definitely think Tre Tucker has more skill set like Wes Walker and Edelman than JSN. Hey, what's going on, Stu, my boy, black quarterback? AE, what's good with you, bro? Edelman was your second guess? Yes. Let's see. Raiders have always wanted to stretch the field with go routes. Yes, but you can't do that in today's NFL. Why you think that the average pass per yards per pass is a lot lower than it was, I don't know, 20 years ago? Like when the golden years of quarterbacks, they used to throw the ball down the field. The defenses got so complex now that you got to take what they give you. But Al Davis say, we don't take what you give us. We're going to take what we want. Yeah, so we could try to push the issue, but that's just not indicative. Well, it's indicative of Kubiak's offense, but it's all predicated on the run. If we run the ball effectively, then we can take what we want. But you ain't just going to go out there and line up and start taking what you want like it's free. Nah. But I ain't saying you saying that, but I'm just running that thought through my head. Let's see. You be better off doing content on your own. The Council of Rigs was interesting, but was it productive? 1 or 2 flows better? That's interesting. Let me put a cap in that. I want to answer that. I do. Nailor might take that spot. AKA Freddie. AKA Freddie. Thank you, Freddie. Because even if Tre Tucker don't do that, right? I'm glad you said that. Because I said it earlier, but I forgot. I was like, even it could be something that Benson can do, but even Naylor more so. I won't know until I see him start playing for real. But I'm saying, and we all doing this projection thing of what these players are going to do. I like to base mine on some information and some experience and some gut. You know what I mean? Like, so I kept trying to figure it out. Like, what are we gonna really do? Like, they're not gonna be that good. I mean, they could be good if they overachieve. They can be good. Like, but realistically, it's gonna have to boil down to what how you gonna have them play. Because if you're gonna have Tre Tucker play like JSN, I don't see that. I don't even see that with Naylor because Naylor production like that. You can't expect a wide receiver to even a 300 wide receiver to go to like 800 yards like that. Can it happen? Yeah, it can happen. It can happen, but it usually trend first. You gotta see like a little bit of that first in a player before it just blow up like that. You don't just pick a receiver and go, you know what, we putting you in this scheme and you should blow up. Even like even if you're not even used to getting the ball that much, it's just too much on you. It wears on you, especially if you a third. Usually you're used to being a third wide receiver like Naylor was. Then all of a sudden the defense started paying attention to you and defenders started paying attention to you. Like, yeah, we're gonna hit you all the time, dog. Whether it be late or not, we're gonna hit you. You gonna feel this. And that just adds up. And then that's how a player get hurt. Yes, good point. Dante releases bad. Yeah, okay. Receiver one is a target who will catch the ball 99% of the time. Okay. What I call that dependable. Yeah, yeah. For you, it'd be Jack Besh or Dante. Oh, Jack Besh. It'd be Jack 1, Dante 2, and Trey 3. Okay. Let's see. I like the guys we have at receiver. Let them develop. If you need to sign a receiver 4 games in, do it. Yeah, but like who's going to be available if 4 games in? Well, I guess that's why they have a trade deadline. So mhm. I like I like to got the lights at the receiver. I like to go light at receiver. I have tight end, pass heavy offense, big receivers versus small defenders. Our offense scheme is based on creating mismatches. True, true. And here you go, back to your point. That's what I meant. And, and I've been saying that people keep saying we need an X receiver, but we really just need a good receiver. JSN played out the slot and outside and would win consistently, right? Yes. Yes. What you said about Hondo? Nah, I'm with Hondo on that. I ain't saying to cut him because they for sure ain't good. I ain't like Besh or Dante out the draft from the jump. Dante can run a route and Besh can't beat press. And that could be true. And I'm going to concede that thought. because I kept trying to figure out why y'all was, which leads me to the separation. Because let me see how long we've been on. Oh yeah, we can talk about Brock Bowers. What happened here? Oh yeah, we was talking about separation and Besh. I'm gonna concede that because I was trying to really understand what people meant by he couldn't create separation. I'm like, dude, what y'all mean by that? Can y'all explain to me what separation means to y'all? Because I'm gonna tell y'all what I took from what people were saying. Like separation is the ability to run by a defender and how open you are. I thought that's what people meant by separation, the space between you and the defender when you get open. Like he can't do it so the quarterback can throw the ball. And I'm like, nobody said that to me because I kept asking, but that's what it sounded like it was being said. And I'm like, even I use this as an example. A defender can have his hand on your hip and you throw the ball. Yeah, there's no separation, but you could be thrown open though. I mean, not just thrown open out of a route, like the ball here, and you got to hurry up and run to get there to catch it so you can hurry up and leave the defender on your hip. I'm talking about like if you in the red zone and you run a quick slant and then the quarterback throwing it towards the ground because he don't want the ball to get tipped in the air. See, that's how a lot of interceptions happen. The ball if you throw it at him in his chest and you kind of throw it in there hella hard, it might hit his chest and pop up, or it might get away just a little bit, and then it tips his hands and it get popped up, and this for sure gonna get picked off then. So you throw the ball at the ground and you can throw yourself open, throw him open. So I was like, what is separation? Let me tell y'all. Let me tell y'all how the NFL defines separation. Willie Wayne was good. Yeah, I was wondering what you would say about Nailor being in that position. You said Nailor the only one in our wide receiver room that got a similar skill set to what was and Edelman had. Benson and Thornton too stiff. Yes, I do agree with you on that. I don't know about I would say Thornton too because he's too big. So I agree with you on that. And he said stiff to run routes, and Trey is just a deep threat. Bench can't beat press. Um, um, excellent point. I'm not sold on the. I'm three ice cubes on the Tre Tucker thing. I think Tre Tucker can run some routes. I think Tre Tucker can run some routes. Oh, two ice cubes, not three. Two. Two ice cubes. But I would agree with you that Naylor might be more fit for that. And we'll find that out. We'll find that out. All right, so here we go. This is what separation is according to the NFL. So from here on out, when I hear separation, this is what I'm thinking of. I'm gonna flip this and I'm gonna make a short of this or like a little 2-minute video. So that way, whenever people get whenever people get to tripping about what I'm talking about separation, this is what I'm talking about. This is what the NFL defines separation. So whatever y'all call separation, call it something else because it ain't separation. So in advanced NFL analytics, separation is defined as the distance measured in yards between a wide receiver and the nearest defensive player at the exact moment the ball arrives, or the moment the quarterback releases the pass, depending on the specific tracking platform. So some of them do is like at the moment that you let go of the ball. So maybe that's what y'all talking about. Yeah, maybe that's what y'all talking about. But even that though, because you could be even with a receiver when he throw the ball, that don't mean you're gonna stay even with him. So you can run faster than you especially if you lead the pass and make the receiver run faster. So I think that one's slightly flawed. I like the one, the moment you catch the ball, how many yards away you are from the next person, that's separation. That sounds like separation to me. Because the NFL uses tracking microchips embedded in every player's shoulder pads, next gen stats and platforms like Profiler can calculate this data down to the inch. There are two major nuances to understand about this metric. The context flaw, schemed open versus route running. Separation does not automatically mean a player is an elite route runner. So even if you get separation that on a receiver can get a high separation stat in two different ways. True separation, beating a cornerback in man-to-man coverage using footwork, speed, and sharp route running. That's what I was going to say about Benson. I've been saying he needs to work on his route running, not his upper body strength, Uncle Hondo. Schemed separation, running a screen pass, a jet sweep, or sitting down in a massive hole in the zone defense where no defender's within 5 yards of you. So that kind of skews the numbers a lot. If you run to the zone, there's going to be nowhere around you. So if you always running into a zone, your number is going to be higher. That doesn't necessarily mean that that person is more elite than the other because they get more yards of separation according to the stats. That's why I say statistics tell a story, but it doesn't tell the story, not the complete story. That's why when people say numbers don't lie, no, figures lie and liars figure. So the target depth impact. It is much easier to maintain a high separation average on short passes like slants and flats than it is on deep passes down the boundary. This is why analysts often look at target separation. See, we'll talk about that, not this show, maybe like next week. Target separation alongside a player's average depth of target is called ADOT to determine if a receiver is genuinely creating space down the field or just catching uncontested balls near the line of scrimmage. So, but I will concede though that Jack Besh has that problem. Whatnot. I don't think he's a tight end. I don't think that we should try to make him a tight end. I think he will be a slot receiver that if we need a third down or something, he's gonna be able to get open, maybe run an Edelman-ish route. And he needs to use his body to shield off defenders to get that possession because he's a possession receiver. Because I think he run 4.6, so he's not going to blow the top off the defense. So he can't be the X receiver. Not primarily, anyway. I mean, he can play it sometime, but you don't want to scheme him there often. So let's talk about Brock Bowers' overusage. Hit the like button, man. So it's Edelman, Wes Walker-ish. And it's a direct correlation with Tom Brady. Tom Brady played in that offense. He should know how to work that magic. So that's how they should approach this. And even if it's not, and in camp, that might be where the battle is between Tucker and Nailor. But Nailor is good on the boundary. So he's going to be the X receiver primarily because it's about matchups on offense. We're going to stick players different places. Brock Bowers, I said this a long time ago, Brock Bowers will be the X sometimes. He'll even line up in the backfield sometimes. He can be the third tight end. He can be the second tight end. They're going to put him in everywhere but quarterback. So all right. I was talking about Brock Bowers' overusage. It was in your feelings Tuesday, so I guess I came off a little, I don't know, but the comment was made that tight end is a quarterback's best friend. That is a true statement just by itself. But I was trying to make context with that because if you relying as a quarterback, if you relying on your tight end all game long, that's rough. That's rough. Hold on. Yeah. If you if so the tight end is your best friend. Here you go. Because what I was saying about your tight end is your best friend. It's your best friend because it's like the security blanket once the receivers don't get open. Like you want your wide receivers to win the battle. You don't want to have to. Usually, the tight end is your third read or your third check or whatever. Now I get that Brock Bowers is going to be your first check, but if the defense take away your first check, then what are you going to do? Who's your security blanket then? Because the purpose of the security blanket, which is the tight end, aka best friend, is because if all things go wrong, I know I have a receiver that's not too far away from me, traditionally, not too far away from me, that if I'm rolling out, he's gonna flash in front of me. Or he might be over there standing by the boundary already, not running all the way up the field and then don't get open and gotta come back and start doing all kind of other stuff like he a wide receiver to get open. So traditionally that whole phrase coming from is when your wide receiver don't get open, the tight end is your security blanket. That makes him your best friend. That's all I was saying when it comes to that. Now, I was saying that we don't want to use Brock Bowers that much because he's going to get injured. We can look at, like I said earlier, Gronk. Look how his career was. He was getting told that was blasting him. Let's look at, and I'm looking at it from the longevity standpoint. Because I know if you keep running this guy up and down the field, they got brackets and double teams on him. They're gonna hurt him. They hurt him last year, running out of bounds after a big play. He had a big play, running out of bounds, got hit right on the hip, tweaked himself. We lucky it was only a sprain. So, what tight end that had high usage rate, and it ends up in at some point their game just diminished. As a prime example is who? They're in our division. Travis Kelce. Yeah. Prime example, Travis Kelce. For years, his historically high usage rate was an incredible asset. He functioned as the focal point of the Chiefs' passing offense 7 consecutive 1,000 seasons, helping secure multiple Super Bowl titles. I guess that we get Super Bowls out of him. We don't care at the back end of his career. He can just run 5 yards and catch passes like Kelsey do. I guess we'll trade that for the Super Bowls. I don't want to do that because that might be an outlier. He might not make it that long. But anyway, let's see. What is it? Here's the potential outcomes and whether that equates to wins. Do it? I gave you guys the stats earlier. Does it equates to wins to use him at that such high usage rate? Right. The positives. His versatility allows the Raiders to use him like a giant wide receiver. That's exactly how we use him, like a giant wide receiver. High usage means chunk plays, constant mismatches against the linebackers, and reliable security blanket for the quarterback. The negative, as seen with older tight ends, elite volume at this position comes with immense physical wear and tear. If he's the only threat, defenses will continually double team him and bracket his routes, causing his efficiency, yards per catch, to eventually drop. Does it equate to wins? Not necessarily. Not automatically, anyway. In the NFL, a tight end dominated target share often signifies a deep, flawed offense that lacks outside wide receiver threats. Oh, I think I said that yesterday. You got to have that wide receiver out there to stretch the field to create spacing. Because if you let them condense it, then you look like Geno Smith. For instance, despite Brower's brilliant individual stats, the Raiders struggled heavily in the win column during his first 2 seasons. High usage for Bowers is a good thing because he is a generational talent. He is. But it only translates to wins if the Raiders surround him with enough complementary pieces to prevent defenses from selling out to stop him. Yeah, to sell out. Don't sell out on him. Let's see. Tight ends take a unique beating compared to wide receivers. They don't just run routes, they block defensive ends and absorb hits in the crowded middle of the field. Yeah. So yeah, you gotta have a receiver. You gotta have a big body receiver or a big play receiver or somebody that can stretch the field. Somebody that can stretch the field. Let's see what my boy said. A tight end plays close to the line, so I was saying Genty was still going to play loaded boxes because we still don't have receivers outside defenses can slide to and lighten up the box. That's true. He said, I put that comment in yesterday on y'all live yesterday, and Ben wasn't feeling what I was saying. I meant the tight end one ain't a good thing as a wide receiver one. Yeah, exactly. Because the tight end doesn't open up your offense as much as the wide receiver does. Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying. That's the point I was making. That's the point I was making. That's the point I was making. So it's about his longevity, man. Now, if he just go out there and ball out in the flow of the offense, zigging and zagging and wigging and wagging and doing his thing, going crazy, I'm not saying to shut it down and throw it to somebody else. I ain't saying that. I'm just saying he should not be the wide receiver one of our team. Like, if we use him like the most, then he's going to get hurt because he's not a wide receiver. Because he's going to line up at tight end sometimes. He's going to block sometimes. He's going to catch passes in the middle of the field. He's a big target. He's a bigger target than wide receivers. He's fast like a wide receiver, but he ain't faster than them because they don't get away. They can get away a little bit more than the tight end. So all those things working against Brock is going to get him hurt or shorten his career. Knock on wood if you with me. I don't want to say he's going to get hurt because I ain't saying that. Knock on wood if you with me. So I'm just saying, if Kubiak can scream this football god from heaven to get hella yards after the catch and whatnot, that's fine with me. I'm just saying, if we out there like he's our wide receiver one, so he's our most dependable, and we gotta approach it like that, then yeah, we might get away with that for a couple seasons. Yeah. But that's not gonna be sustainable. Let me see. How long we been in this thing? 1:30. Okay. Not bad. 1:30, an hour and a half, not bad. Thank y'all for hacking into the show. You feel me? I appreciate the love. I appreciate the loyalty. For sure I do. Because y'all already know what it is. We are one nation all day, every day. Because we need to get a chip from the Bay to LA to Las Vegas.
I'm a Raider from the Bay to LA to Las Vegas. Recipes to Al Davis.